When you fail at something that matters, you do one of two things with it. You bury it, change the subject, stay busy, never quite look at it. Or you marinate in it, replaying the worst moment on a loop that punishes and teaches nothing. Both feel like processing. Neither is. There's a third option, and the best demonstration of it happened the morning after a man failed in front of millions of people. By the end of this video, you'll have his exact procedure. 4 steps, 1 sheet of paper, in a specific order that matters, plus the strange trick he uses to store what a failure taught him, so it's available in the middle of the next fight. September 2012, Studio 1A, 30 Rockefeller Center. David Goggins is on live national television to break the world record for pull-ups in 24 hours. The number to beat, over 4,000. A Guinness official sits nearby. Cameras rotate through the morning shows. He has trained for this specifically, brutally, for months. And it goes wrong almost immediately. The bar isn't like his training bar. It flexes, the setup fights his grip, his hands start tearing early. Hour after hour, the damage compounds, until his body does something it has never done in all the years of SEAL training and ultramarathons. It stops obeying. The first true muscle failure of David Goggins' life. Live, on camera, 1,521 pull-ups short of the record. Think about what that failure had that yours usually don't. Public, total, filmed. His body quit in front of an audience of millions after he'd announced the goal on air. If humiliation were fatal, this was a lethal dose. Here's what he did the next morning. He left his phone at the hotel, deliberately, no distraction, no comment section, and went for a long run through Central Park. And on that run, he conducted what the military calls an after-action report on himself. Not a mood, a document with sections. Step 1 of the AAR, and the order is the method. What went well? Right at first, this feels absurd after a disaster, but it's what keeps the exercise diagnostic instead of punitive. Goggins had real injuries. Months of training that built genuine capacity, nutrition that held for hours, pacing that was working before the bar beat his hands. If you skip this step, you aren't analyzing the failure. You're just flogging yourself with it. And self-flagellation produces exactly 0 adjustments. Step 2. How you were feeling at each stage, before, during, and at the breaking point. Not the tactics yet, the internal weather. Nervous at the start? Rattled when the first thing went wrong? This matters because half of most failures happen in the head an hour before they happen in the world. And if you don't map where your mind bent, you'll reinforce the wrong part. Step 3. The tactical fixes. And this is where Goggins shows you the discipline the whole method depends on. He had a perfect excuse available, the bar. It really was wrong. And his line about it is the one to frame. He had to resist the temptation to blame everything on that loose bar, because odds were firmer one wouldn't have translated into an extra 1,521 pull-ups. Write the honest fix list, equipment, preparation, pacing, the real gaps, but ban the single villain. One excuse explaining everything is a story, not an analysis. Step 4. Before the document closes, schedule the rematch. A date in the calendar while the wound is fresh. Not because the wound has healed, because the difference between a failure and an ending is whether there's a next attempt on the books. Goggins scheduled his. The analysis without the date is just elegant quitting. And 2 months later, he was back under a bar and failed again. Ripped his hands apart, thousands of pull-ups in, sure the record a second time. So he ran the same loop again. Report, feelings, fixes, date. No new philosophy, just another iteration. On the 3rd attempt, in a quiet gym with everything the reports had fixed, the record fell. That's the frame most people never install. Failure to rematch to failure to rematch is not a tragic cycle. It's the procedure working. The reports are what make each attempt different from the last. Without them, Repetition is just superstition with bruises. Now the second tool for a different moment. The AAR is for the morning after. But Goggins keeps something else for the middle of the fight, the cookie jar. A written inventory of every hard thing he has already survived and fixed, assembled cold, in advance on an ordinary day. When a current efforts start collapsing, he reaches in and takes one out. Two details make it work. It cannot be assembled under load. In the middle of the pain, you can't remember your own victories. That's precisely the deficit the jar exists to cover. And the point is not reciting the anecdote, it's re-entering the state. I have been past this edge before, in this body, which is a claim your nervous system will actually honor, because it has receipts. So, tonight the assignment, and notice it works on old failures too. Take the one that still stings. One sheet. What actually went well, the feeling stage by stage, the honest fixes with the single villain band, and if the goal still matters, a date. 20 minutes. Then one line into your cookie jar for the next fight. One warning about a counterfeit version. The AAR is not a guilt ritual. And if your sheet is 10 fixes and 0 things that went well, you've written the wrong document. Throw it away and start with step 1 this time. The method's whole engine is that it treats you like a machine worth debugging rather than a person worth punishing. His body quit on live television with a number attached to the shortfall. He treated it as data twice, and then the record was his. Bury it, and the failure is wasted. Marinate, and it's weaponized against you. Or run the report. And the worst day you've had this year quietly becomes equipment. Choose the third option.